Hello, friends, and welcome back. This is Anna. Welcome to my daily tarot oracle card readings. Okay, so this week I'm going to break. I have to break up the week actually because of the holidays. Yes, I have things to sort out, things to do, and I'm going to be quite occupied. So I'm just going to break this week up into two readings: the first half and the second half, and then we'll pick it back up again the following week. Okay. So this reading's from Monday to Thursday, the 22nd through the 25th. And welcome back. I've pulled all major arcana cards. Interesting, huh? And we're nearing that time where it's the end of the year and we reflect and we think about the things that were good and we think about the things that were not so good, the things that worked, the things that didn't work, etc. Right? So we're in that state of reflection and we're being appreciative, etc. And what a perfect way to visualize that concept than to have the Fool card, which is the very beginning, the 0, and then the World, which is the end, the beginning and the end. It's the Alpha and Omega, beginning and ending. Isn't that interesting, huh? And then we have, of course, the Star card associated with Aquarius, and for whatever reason, the Age of Aquarius kind of just it's lingering in my mind. The Age of Aquarius. Anyhow, there have been things throughout this year that maybe you've been feeling like you felt foolish. Maybe you've been feeling like you've had to do things were forced on you. That happens a lot. This is nothing super mystic that I'm talking about here. The Fool card lets us know that there were things that either we did that were foolish or childish, or that others have they acted foolishly or childishly. This card also tells me that actually the imagery of what screams out to me, what grasps my attention, is the fact that this card is telling me that we shouldn't be made fools of. Okay, we shouldn't be made fools of jumping through hoops. We're not in the circus, and pardon me to all of you Cirque du Soleil people who may be watching. I don't know. If you are, I love your talent and everything, but for the rest of us who are not, in the circus act, being made to literally be in some sort of circus act and spin our wheels and to the outside world, that is foolish. And in those moments, these are the things that we need to reflect upon. We need to think about those moments where we've been made to jump through hoops. Okay, so let's think about that. All right, it is the 0 card. It is the beginning, right? It's right before the beginning. So we've got again this beginning and ending. And so though we started off, maybe if we started off the year like this, well, guess what? When we end the year on a mature note. We've got the World card. Okay, this is the last of the major arcana. Although some people want to place the Fool, I don't even want to get into that. But here we have a grasp of our own world, our inner and outer world. The things that we want to uphold, the things that we want to move forward and take into the new year, and the things that we want to do without. Okay, so there are the things that we hold dear to us, and they are inside of us. We keep them nice and safe, encased in this nice bubble of protection, So, and we firmly stand upon it. We take a stand and we say yes or no and stop right there, and we have established boundaries. So though it's a complete contrast to this Fool card, where there are no boundaries. There are no boundaries or limited boundaries, but then we come out on the other side all the wiser, and that's what this reading is about. We're coming out wiser. We've learned lessons. We have learned a lot about ourselves, about others, about the situations that we have intertwined ourselves in, right? And that is important. Because, you know, you came out the wiser, and that's really what this reading is about. Coming out the wiser and opening up your own doors of opportunities. And that's what the Oracle card speaks of, okay? And we'll get to that in a second. Okay, so coming out the wiser so that new doors are opening. They open for us. You know, this is a bit of a self-help. Helping ourselves, right? Helping ourselves. And with the Star card, you know, here this card tells me, yes, you've got that twinkle of hope, and there's a star hovering right over the woman's head, and she's naked, she is bearing it all to the world. And that is also in complete contrast to the figure of the female here in this World card, right? We have one woman who is bearing it all and one who is covered up. Okay? And so this also tells me, see, that in the Fool card, where we're just bearing it all and bearing it all, and people are like, ha ha ha, whatever. Here we have learned with the World card how to be more reserved, right? How to be more reserved, while at the same time knowing how to bear it all. You see? You see how this changes? It changes. We come out the wiser. We know how to bear it all without having to jump through so many hoops and having to feel or be made to feel like we need to appease an audience. We need to appease everyone that, you know, listens to you. You can't appease everyone, and you have to firmly grasp and stand by the things that you believe. Okay? Know how to bear it all and to whom you're bearing it all to, and wisely see when we have this energy that wishes to come in and disrupt our peace and our sense of overall control. Okay? And this is going to be a significant energy right now, okay? And if anything, it's there are personal actions, actions of the mind processes this information as I give it to you. We reflect, right? We reflect, we think, we may even bust out the journal and write out a couple of things that worked, the things that didn't work, and why, and pinpoint, and we fine-tune ourselves for the upcoming year, right? So that's what this is all about. You come out the wiser, you know who to bear everything to and who not to, and you know the situations that you need to avoid, the situations that have you jumping through hoops unnecessarily. And even though you thought that, this is fine, it's okay, I can deal with it, it wasn't good for you. It was not. And it doesn't matter if this was someone close or groups of people or whatever it is, you know. You came out the wiser. So you're not letting this happen again, right? And I love this. It's the beginning and the end. Okay? With the Fool 0 and the World 21. Beginning and endings. Beginning and ending. Alpha and Omega. So, with this enlightenment and knowing how to bear what we have to others, being wiser about that, what happens? Wonderful thing happens here. A new door opens. A new door is opening, it says here. Step over the threshold. So though things may seem a little ambiguous, not exactly well defined, you don't know exactly where you're headed, you have a general idea, but you just don't have all the details yet, right? It's like the trip that you want to take finally, that big trip. You know, here the big trip to France or somewhere or whatever, Europe, and you have a friend in Europe, the big trip across America or something like that, you know. It's a trip, it's a plan that you have, but you don't have all the details. You don't have dates set. You don't have tickets yet in hand and all of these other things that go along with it. Okay, I'm just using this as an example. But the door is opening, and so you can step over the threshold. It is safe to do so. It is, in other words, it is safe to begin taking other measures, okay? Start checking off the other steps and the tasks associated with that one big thing that you want to do. Okay? It's not going to come fast. All the major arcana here, major arcana 1, 2, and 3. This is like long term, a long term thing. Okay? Because we're always working on ourselves. We never stop working, and you should not ever feel like you're stopped working on yourself, even when things seem stuck, even when you do feel like you're jumping through hoops, even when you feel like you are being made a fool of. Our plans don't cease. They don't stop. There's some kind of progressions. There's a progression. And that's what this oracle card is all about, and I love it. It's the end of the year, and what are our dreams? What are our aspirations? I like how the city of Prague is back here behind the female figure, and it's all like in the clouds. It's like almost dreamy like, so what are those dreams? What are those aspirations? Now is the time to really seriously consider what your steps will be from here on forth. No more being made a fool of, no more jumping through hoops. I know that we have to be reactionary at times. Things happen, but someone else's emergency does not mean it's your emergency, especially when the other person didn't plan accordingly, right? So that's another aspect of this reading. We're ending that cycle of jumping through hoops because other people failed to plan for themselves, and then you're the one scrambling to get matters done. And that's not a good energy. So we're going to end that, right? That was the beginning. Now this is this is the end, okay? And I want you to keep that in mind. Not just for today, for the next couple of days, because I do have the second part of the week. And I don't know what that reading is going to be, or what it's going to show. But this is something we really need to keep in mind. So let's reflect. All right, we began with something, and then we end differently. We began a certain way, we end differently. We came out the wiser. We know how to expose ourselves and when not to expose ourselves. And really, we were guided by that inner spark, that inner, I wouldn't say the inner light, but it's that there's a feeling that just sort of drives you. You know this is what you need to do, or you know that this is definitely not the thing that you should be doing, right? New doors are opening. I'm going to end the reading right here. And I just, by the way, I don't know why I keep saying the age of Aquarius, but this card is associated with Aquarius, so that I'd like to throw that out there. Have a blessed couple of days, wonderful holidays, and I will see you back here on Friday for the weekend reading. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you on Friday for the wiggle. All right, have a wonderful day. Bye bye.